Hello everyone, Dustin from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition in our Being Prepared series. Today we're going to be talking about, as the hot weather approaches this summer, about heat safety and the extreme heat that is out there right now in southwestern Pennsylvania and other places in the States. So today what we're going to talk about is what is about extreme heat and the risk that it proposes on us, some medications that increase the risk. We're going to talk about how you can prepare for the extreme heat, how you can be safe during a heat wave or a heat event. And we're going to talk about some heat-related illnesses, including stroke, cramps, exhaustion, and along with some resources. So we're going to talk about heat stroke and what risk that some populations have, including the autistic population. So there is hot and then there was hot. Extreme heat is a period of high heat and humidity when temperatures above 90 degrees for at least 2 to 3 days. In extreme heat, a body works extra hard to maintain a normal temperature, which can lead to death. Extreme heat is responsible for the highest number of annual deaths among all weather-related hazards. So older adults, children under 12, autistic or overweight individuals, and along with individuals with intellectual or physical disabilities are at greater risk from extreme heat. Humidity increases the feeling of heat. So a lot of people with disabilities, older people, and including some children and autistic individuals take medications. Some of those medications can increase the risk in the element of making the situation among the heat worse. Some of those include antidepressants, antipsychotics, antihistamines, and diuretics. Some of the ways you can prepare for extreme heat is in recognizing the signs of a heat illness. We'll talk about that later. And do not rely on a fan as a primary cooling device. Fans create airflow and a false sense of comfort, but do not reduce body temperature or prevent heat-related illnesses. Identify in your community where you can go, such as a library, a shopping mall, or contact your local health department in finding a cooling center. A lot of those are listed on the television set or online. You should cover your windows with drapes or shades. That's pretty much a no-brainer. You should rather strip your doors and windows if you can. Not everybody can. You should use window reflectors specially designed to reflect the heat back to the outside. You should add insulation if you haven't already or if you can to keep the heat out. You should use a powered attic ventilator or attic fan if you can to regulate the heat in a building's attic by clearing out the hot air. You should install window air conditioners and insulate around them. I just bought an air conditioner yesterday, and we did insulate around it, and I can tell a big difference from the previous air conditioner to the current one. If you aren't able to afford your heating costs, there are resources out there such as weatherization, energy home repairs. You should contact your LIHEAP program through your local assistance office for additional help. So some ways that we can be safe during a heat event is to never leave people or pets in a closed car on a warm day. If air conditioning is not available in your home, you should go to a cooling center. You should take cold showers or baths. Wear loose, lightweight, light-colored clothing. Use your oven less to help reduce the air temperature in your home. If you are outside, find shade. Wear a hat wide enough to protect your face. Drink plenty of fluids that help you stay hydrated. Avoid high energy activities at work or work outdoors during midday heat if possible. You should avoid that. You should check on your family members, your seniors, and your neighbors. Watch for heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Consider pet safety. If they are outside, make sure they have plenty of cool water and access to comfortable shade. Asphalt and dark pavement can be very hard to your pet's feet. If using a mask, use one that is made of breathable fabric, such as cotton instead of polyester. Don't wear a mask if you feel yourself overeating or have trouble breathing. Some ways that you can prevent some heat-related illnesses is knowing the signs of heat-related illnesses and how to respond. If you are sick and need medical attention, contact your health care provider for advice and shelter in place if you can. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, by all means, call 911. You can find out more information about the heat-related illnesses from the CDC and the National Weather Service. So let's talk about heat stroke. Some signs of heat stroke are extremely body temperature at above 103 degrees Fahrenheit taken orally, red, hot, and dry skin with no sweat, a rapid, strong pulse, dizziness, confusion, or unconsciousness. If you suspect a heat stroke, call 911 and get the person to a hospital immediately. Cool down with whatever methods are available until medical help arrives. Very importantly, do not give the person anything to drink. Let's talk about heat cramps and heat exhaustion, and there's a graphic there for you to kind of outline what it is and what the difference is between heat cramps and heat exhaustion. This is the lighter of the two evils, with heat stroke, as we mentioned before, being much more intense than the heat cramps and the heat exhaustion. So let's go into heat cramps just for a second. And everybody knows usually what a cramp is. It's a muscle pain or a spasm in the arms and the legs. Whereas heat exhaustion is there's different signs. So you're sweating heavily, you're having paleness, muscle cramps, tiredness, weakness, a fast or weak pulse, you're dizzy or have a headache, fainting, nauseous, or vomiting. If you have any of these signs, such as of a heat cramp or heat exhaustion, you should go to a cooler location and cool down by removing excess clothing and taking sips of a sport drink or water. Call your healthcare provider if symptoms last more than an hour. So some related content related to this. There's different things I want to tell you about. The federal government has an extreme heat information sheet, and there's different things there. You can also find on weather.com about children, pets, and vehicles. They also have some heat safety tips and resources available, along with some information on heat illnesses that you can go further into. There's also the National Integrated Heat Health Information System, or heat.gov. Centers for the CDC also provides information on extreme heat, and there are some warning signs of some heat-related illnesses.